And there we go. We are live. So, hello and welcome to today's live interview where I'm going to be interviewing Favyn. Go ahead and say hello and give us an introduction of yourself as well.
Hey, how's it going?
Wow, that
Do you guys hear that?
that was
Oh, that's messing me up real bad.
that was quite the quick hello, Favyn.
Do you hear the echo?
No, I don't hear an echo. Oh, do you have
Like-
you probably have the stream
No,
open.
I don't.
Favyn.
I don't have the stream open. It's off.
Oh, what? Oh, that's weird. Hey, Wolverine says so. What's up, man? How are you? Am I echoing for you or something?
Like literally, I just hear the stream replaying itself.
And you don't even have it open? Hey,
No.
he
No,
was
it is.
123. How are you?
Okay, I think I might have just fixed it.
Okay, good.
Okay, great intro. Good stuff.
Yeah, people are saying there's no echo. Yeah, it was just
Yeah, yeah. I figured it out.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna say what it was.
Yeah, but I guess as we were saying, you already said hello, so go ahead and give me an introduction of yourself. Or give us an introduction.
I'm Favyn. I make YouTube videos, and now I'm doing an interview. Like I don't know. Like I just watched the Racevic show you did, and I'm kind of in the same boat as him. Like it's hard to describe myself. I guess I just kind of make what I make. I don't know if I fit into any one particular category. I make what I would call analytical gaming videos with a focus on design. Sometimes I throw in a little bit of comedy. Sometimes they're more serious and in depth. But yeah, that's what I do.
Alrighty then. Oh, hey, Hidden Xperia. How are you, man? How you doing?
Oh shit.
Favyn, why is Sprint so beneficial to Halo? Smiley face.
I swear to God, this guy right here.
Yeah. But Favyn,
How's it going, man?
I guess first question for you here is, when did you start YouTube?
I started YouTube. I think it's been about 3 years ago. I think I made my first video closing in on 3 years. And so I've been kind of doing it semi-regularly since. Definitely not as much as I'd like to, and not as much as it takes to actually become famous. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the little success I've had. I feel like I'm kind of on the cusp of just a few videos away from taking off a little bit. It's a lot of hard work, but yeah, I think I've built it, and throughout those 3 years, I've maintained a pretty steady audience despite infrequent uploads. So I'm pretty happy with what I've done so far, doing it part-time.
So you started in 2015, you'd say?
Yeah, I started in 2015. About this time, I remember making it after E3 of 2015. I actually have a video that is no longer on the channel. My first video ever was actually about Fallout 4. And it was basically me analyzing the Fallout 4 trailer. And very quickly after I posted that, I realized I don't want to be a news channel. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be like, oh, I have to be on top of everything. And every time something new comes out, I have to be rushed to get to my computer and talk about it. Or else someone else is going to get to it.
Yeah.
So really, I'd much rather be, and what I became is more of an analytical guy. Like, I feel like I could talk about a game a year after it came out and it still get watched just because it's about its design, or it's about how it works and its inner workings, so to speak. So that's what I focused in. And then the very next video I made was Why is Halo Dead, which is like 30 minutes of me kind of going through an overview of what I thought about Halo. And once that gained traction, I deleted the old kind of news-oriented video. Not many people know that, but that's how it happened.
Very interesting, Favyn. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't call your thing video essays. I'd just call them, yeah, like you said, analytical gaming videos.
And I actually thought about that because, I mean, a lot of times I've even maybe in the past described myself like, oh yeah, I do video essays, but when I thought about it, I don't think I do. Now I have similarities. My videos are scripted; they're incredibly scripted. But they're scripted in a way that is a lot less formal. I
Right.
should say I design my videos to where I write them as I'm talking. So I'll actually just like say something, and if I like it and I think it works, I'll actually just write it down exactly as I'd say it. So to me, I try and write my scripts to where they feel natural and they feel like I'm not even reading off of a script. Like people would be like almost like, wow, is this dude even reading on a script? Like it doesn't sound like it. Um, so that's kind of what I go for. And I feel like video essays are a little more formal, and a lot of the people in that genre, I'm not going to name names, and I I don't even think there's necessarily anything against it, but I feel like a lot of times they just kind of rehash like the history of the game, or they just kind of describe the game, and I don't personally find that interesting. I kind of want to go and do deep dives and actually get into the nitty-gritty mechanical depths of the games. um, but I also do it in what I believe to be an informal manner, uh, and I try and write my scripts to kind of convey that, I guess.
Right. Yeah, you don't try and be so formal as like a video essayist, maybe.
Exactly. Like, I feel like in a video essay, they're reading off a script.
And
Like, it
yeah.
sounds like a script. It sounds like something very formal. Here I am. I'm making an argument, and I'm doing it in an essay format. Like, I don't have any format at all. To me, it's just what's the best way to convey the message. And I'm going to say it in a way that I would say it if I weren't reading off a script.
Yeah, because I mean, no one's that naturally formal, I think.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Like no regular conversation, in no regular conversation you would speak like that formal, you know? So I
Yeah, and
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
that's kind of like exactly why I do it the way I do it, because I don't know, to me, as someone who analyzes patterns a lot, like when I look at games, I see patterns. um I also kind of start to see patterns in those video essays, and it starts kind of taking away the allure and the mystique of those types of videos, and I kind of start expecting things, and those videos deliver exactly what I was expecting. And so I don't necessarily want to fall into that trap. I always want to be someone that when you come and watch one of my videos, I want you to leave feeling like you learned something, or wow, I never thought about it that way, or I never thought about that at all, and kind of change the way you think about game design and see games a different way. Not just here's me describing the game, here's me describing how the game works, and now you can be a little more educated on that. I guess that's kind of what I try and do.
Yeah. I mean, what I really like about video essays personally is the editing more than anything.
Oh yeah, and I suck at editing. I'm really bad.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when I edit an interview, you know, I'm not really doing much. I'm just cutting up audio and making it sound like a conversation. So I'm not really like able to explore, you know, my editing software a whole lot since I'm not really editing video, just audio.
Yeah, and sometimes with my stuff, a lot of times I just want what I'm saying to be the focal point. I don't want there to be a distraction from what I'm saying. But if I feel like there is video that I can be showing that backs up what I'm saying, that's when I'll get into a little more heavy duty editing, which I have done in the past. But there's been a lot of times where I'm editing a video and it's way more complicated. It has way more edits. It has music and everything, and I'm literally like, this is distracting from what I want people to take out of this. So I'll actually like undo a lot of my editing and just kind of focus on the commentary itself, because that really is like the number one priority for me personally. And the editing is to support the commentary, not to use as like this crutch where, like, oh, here's a little bit of production to hide the fact that I'm not saying anything of substance. I definitely want to always say something of substance, and I will actually decrease the amount of editing in the video to make sure that that substance is coming through.
Right. So you want the focal point of your videos to be what you're saying and nothing else.
Correct, correct. And not all the time. Sometimes I don't say anything of substance. And I'm just making a video that I want to, because I try and be funny and snarky during parts where I really was talking about some complicated stuff, and I feel like my message was getting lost and I just sounded like an asshole. So that's kind of a lesson I learned early on, and it's something that I think I've gotten pretty good at in recent years, kind of determining when do you need to be funny, when do you need to be serious and analytical.
Right. Yeah. I mean, obviously you don't want to be throwing out haha teehee funny meme in a
Right, right.
in a serious video. Yeah.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I want to change people's minds, right? I don't want to just stir up the fan base or stir up a group that already agrees with me. I want to, say something and have them, go, I never thought about it that way. And even if they keep their opinion that they originally had, maybe their opinion will be a little more informed. So I want to start a dialogue, a discussion, and I don't really want to alienate people and make them feel stupid for believing something that, quite frankly, is complicated. And it's understandable if they don't understand. And that's why when I talk about Halo's mechanics and all of the things that have changed, a lot of that's complicated. A lot of that isn't immediately apparent. So I think with my Halo videos, if it's something along those lines where it's a complicated mechanical discussion, I'll be a lot more analytical and serious and less humorous. And then if I'm talking about Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which I'm very confident is a garbage video game, then I will be more funny like I was in that video, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. Wolverine Cecil here in chat is asking for Favyn. Do you take any inspiration off of other analytical YouTubers like the Axeman, Clean Prince Gaming, etc.?
First of all, I was around before the Act Man, and I'm good friends with him. So I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say I take any, and I was actually around before Clean Prince as well. I know I'm small. I know they got bigger than me, but I was making videos about a year before they were. The problem is that I didn't have time and they did, and they made a lot more than I did, and here I am, still in the lower regions of the sub counts here. But I'm still pretty happy with where I'm at, regardless, even though I didn't take off. But anyway, back to the original question in regards to taking inspiration from content creators. I don't think I took inspiration from individuals where I'm like, I'm going to use their style. I kind of like my own style, I guess you could say. But I did take inspiration from that style of content overall, where there's a few different kinds of gaming commentators on this website. You have people that are more personalities like PewDiePie and Markiplier, and they play games. It doesn't really matter what they are playing. You kind of go because you just want to see them.
Right.
Then there's people who are just really good at video games like Ninja. And yeah, you watch them for their personality as well, but really you're going because they're really good at a game and you want to see them do really cool things in that game. And then there's people more like me. People like me and the Act Man and, B. Dobbins, I guess you could say, people like that, where who they are is probably less important than what they're saying. And I would consider Total Biscuit, rest his soul, unfortunately. Yeah. Wow, damn. Almost wish I didn't bring him up because that's really sad. But he was a big inspiration for me as well. And it's not even like his style, just the style of video in general, like I was saying, because I think a personality can grow tiresome. I think a video game in specifically that can grow tiresome. But I think if you're passionate about games, you will always be interested in how they work, and you'll always be interested in their design. And so for me, that's why I was interested in this avenue, because it's what I was interested in personally. And I think that style of video has longevity, where even if I don't upload a video in 2 years and people completely forget about me, because of the style of content I make, I can come out with a piece on video game design. And because the topic itself is interesting, I feel like the viewership will still be there. Like, I don't have to personally be the reason that people come in. Just the ideas and concepts I bring up are why people come to the videos. So that's what I think kind of separates it a little bit. Now, if you have a great personality, you can really enhance that. But for me, that's kind of why I do the videos that I do. And that was kind of the inspiration, because I felt like that was the best place in regards to longevity. And so that's what inspired me. Other than it also just being the aspect that interested to be the most.
Right. Like, people go to your channel for your ideas and your beliefs and not exactly for your personality.
Right. And if you like my personality, that's great. But
Yeah.
even if you start getting annoyed at my personality, the concepts I bring up will still be interesting and worth talking about. So, and I think that style of video, while it will never be at the very, very top, I'll never be a PewDiePie with 55 million subscribers. I could be potentially a really consistent YouTuber that does it for a really, really long time with, a few 100,000, if that makes sense. Like a Mark Brown, who I also really enjoy.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my thought process on that.
Yeah, I mean, PewDiePie's at 63 million right now, Favyn, get it right.
Well, he was at 55 million yesterday. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's mental how fast that man grows.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, but obviously people go to him for, his personality.
Yeah, and he's done a lot in recent years, or in the recent past, that he's kind of shifted. Like, he's transitioned into something he really enjoys doing, and people like really enjoy watching him. Like, he's almost bigger now doing what he's doing than he was playing the games. So I
Yeah.
think that's pretty cool, and I'm pretty happy for him.
Yeah, he switched from doing Amnesia Let's Plays to meme reviews.
Yeah, meme reviews, and just like 3 different versions of meme reviews.
Yeah, and they're all rip-offs of other YouTubers.
Yeah, but I mean, he's pretty on the nose about stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
I know.
yeah, I actually like his stuff a lot better than his older stuff. And he'll
Same.
still throw in a few games now and then, but when he does, it's a game like he actually wants to play, and it comes off more genuine. And I think that's also a big lesson to take, is just keep your, keep who you are, stay genuine. And I think if you're doing things because you genuinely want to, all of the other stuff will kind of fall into place. If you start making content for other people, you're screwed.
Oh yeah, make it for yourself first, and then maybe for others. What I'd say. I
Exactly.
guess. Yeah, because if you're like dreading making the videos you make, then what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
There is no point at that point. That was too many points in a sentence. Hey, Lamau, how are you, man? How you doing? Wolverine Cecil says, I've noticed that with a lot of the videos, it has to do with something negative, like, is nostalgia killing Halo, or COD World War II makes bad first impression. Has there been an idea on doing a video on something positive? Example would be how Rainbow Six handles microtransactions, or highlights something a game gets right. That's a pretty good question.
I think the negativity spawns from I don't necessarily consider it negative. I guess I consider it more critical. I think there's more ways to analyze how things are done wrong than
They're
it is
right.
to explain
How something's done right.
sense of urgency to discuss how things are done wrong than there are right. Because if your favorite franchises are already doing good, why do you need me out there explaining why they're doing so good? Now I understand there are benefits to that, and I have tried to make a few positive videos, but when I see games doing something poorly, and I feel like I have a message explaining that in a way that I think could make those franchises better, to me, that's more compelling. To me, talking about things that could potentially actually change a franchise and improve it is more exciting than just praising a franchise that's already doing really good. But with that being said, I actually, now that you mention it, do have a new series planned where I do kind of go through certain game design elements in general, not even game specific, but where where I'll talk about mechanics that do really well and just different things in general in the design space with games that did them exceptionally.
Yeah, I agree.
Also,
I mean,
I don't think Rainbow Six has that great of a microtransaction system personally, and I do have a video on that.
I think it's I mean, I wouldn't know because I don't play the game because I don't like it. I mean, since you listened to the Ray Civic interview, you'd know I'm one of those guys that goes in and team kills people in that game because I really don't like it.
Are you talking about Siege?
Yes, I don't
Yeah,
like that game.
I love Rainbow Six Siege. I was actually just playing it last night. I don't like its monetization system. I think just because there's worse ones out there, that doesn't make Siege good. But I think Siege as a game is exceptional. I think it's one of the best first-person shooters that's been released in recent years. It's so good that I almost just like forget about its monetization structure with the multiple currencies, and it takes 25,000 credits to unlock a new operator, and if you're not playing all the time, that's a huge undertaking, especially since there's so many new operators than that were included in the original game. But no, I do like Siege. I wouldn't say I like its monetization microtransaction structure.
It just bores me to hell. Too slow for me.
It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody for sure.
Like, I'd rather play Fortnite than that.
Well, I think a lot of people would rather play Fortnite.
Yeah,
Fortnite's
probably.
a pretty popular game.
Oh yeah, yeah. I play that a lot. Only thing I play with my friends, honestly. I'm good. How are you? Yeah, I'm good, man. Thank you for asking. I'm glad you're good as well. And Favyn, the next question I had written for you here is, why did you start YouTube? What got you into it?
I started YouTube. Man, why did I start YouTube? I think the reason I started YouTube was for personal reasons, I guess. I think I'm someone that has a lot of anxiety. My mind is always wandering, and it's not great. I guess I could say it's really hard to describe. But for me, I was looking for a positive outlet that I could just kind of let my mind wander on things that are good for me, that are interesting. And YouTube felt like the perfect place because it combined all of my greatest hobbies and my favorite things, like games and analytical design and all of those things. And it also helped me with probably my greatest issues, which was anxiety and overthinking things. So it was just it just was a positive outlet that I could kind of sink my time into. And if I ever got into a negative space, I could just kind of drift off and start thinking about a video to make, or I could start thinking about a game and going over it. And also, aside from that, is I think it increased my passion for games. I think back in 2015, I was kind of losing interest in just playing games. I wasn't too happy with the state of the industry. And so YouTube kind of gave me a reason to play video games again. It gave me a reason to look at these games in a new light and really study them and analyze them like I used to would have done for no reason. And it's definitely helped me. I think it's made me a healthier person, a happier person. And even though I feel like I'm very blessed in my life, I'm getting married, I have a good job. YouTube is always this thing I have in the back of my mind where if ever I'm feeling down, I have that outlet, I have that hobby that I can just go and put my time into and kind of forget all of the stuff that maybe isn't so great. So I guess that's why I started YouTube, positive outlet, and to reinvigorate my passion for games.
I can relate to the anxiety and all of that. Pretty anxious.
Yeah, I
It's
mean, if you
go
don't
ahead.
have it, you don't understand it. But if you do have it, you're like, "Yup, I can see why you might need an outlet to kind of use that energy, I guess you could say. Use that constant overthinking and just overthink about something else. Overthink about video games." So that's what I do.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I tend to either underthink things or overthink them.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm not really that all outgoing in person. I'm more outgoing online. And I'd have to say these interviews really help me out with all of that because
Yeah, for sure.
I'm talking to to a complete stranger every time, and that really helps me, become slightly more outgoing. So it's great, and I have a ton of fun doing it, so it's even
And
better.
that's good, and it's sweet. And I think when you really reach out to people, you find that most of them are pretty chill. Most of them aren't like this egotistical maniac like you might think. Um, and well, I was gonna say something, now I completely forgot. But yeah, I was kind of in the same boat. When I was a teenager, I was pretty shy. I wasn't very confident. Um, and it's something that I definitely worked on and built. And I basically faked it till I made it. And I pretended to be outgoing and comfortable around people. Um, and I got good at it. I got good at talking. I got good at communicating. Um, and I don't know. And then it became something that I used to be uncomfortable with, and then it's like, wow, I really enjoy this. I like talking to people. I like being the person who presents an argument, like not the person who isn't afraid to step up to the plate. I guess I became comfortable with that just through me trying to battle through my stage fright, so to speak. Um, so yeah, I think this is another really healthy outlet for that as well. I think this helps a lot of people with their weaknesses, right? I
Right.
was socially weak, and now I feel more confident, especially when you have people who come on your channel and they're like, hey, I really like your work. Like that's gratifying to me. And I'm someone that I want to engage with those people. I don't want to just like sit there and make videos and have people tell you you're great or whatever. Like I actually genuinely want to engage with the audience. I read every single comment. Yeah, I talk to people individually as much as I possibly can, because I actually truly genuinely enjoy that. I enjoy the discussion. I enjoy being outgoing and social and talking. And I think YouTube has helped me a lot in that regard, just overall making me a more confident individual.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to, wanting to interact with my audience and all of that. Even though I don't have a big audience.
Hey,
Uh,
I remember I got to like 100 subscribers on my channel, and I thought I was just like huge. You know what I mean? I'm like,
yeah.
100 people, like that's crazy.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm telling you, like I've been there. I was at 2.6 thousand really not that long ago, and I remember thinking like, man, I just want more. Like when I get to 10,000, it's going to be so great. And I got to 10,000, I'm like, all right, I need to get to 20,000. I'm just telling you, you're never satisfied with your numbers.
Yeah.
Um, but I do feel like I'm getting there. I'm getting there to where I'm like, okay, I'm in the discussion, right? So I definitely probably just as a long-term final goal, nothing too crazy ambitious. I shouldn't say it's not crazy ambitious because uh, it is a big number, but 100,000 is kind of like, if I can get to that with my YouTube channel, I don't really care about getting any bigger. 100,000 is that's a number I want to hit someday. Could be next year, could be 5 years from now, but someday I'd like to hit that number.
Yeah, I'm sure anyone who takes this seriously would love to hit that number, myself included.
Right. For sure.
I
And I
mean,
mean, sometimes it just takes one or two big breaks and you're there.
oh
Uh,
yeah,
but I've truthfully this entire year, it's like, wow, I haven't grown at all in 6 months. And it's like, well, it's because you haven't done anything in 6 months, dumb shit. You know what I mean? It's like you've barely posted anything. There's barely any content, and the content you did post, there was nothing of substance. Or there was nothing. There's nothing that I can look at that I've made in the past 6 months where I'd be like, I have to subscribe to that person. And so I'm trying to get back to that. I'm trying to get back to content that like you want to subscribe to hear more of that.
right.
And I feel like right now my content has been more to sustain my channel than it has been to grow it. So hopefully I can change that in the near future.
Hey Miguel, how are you? How's it going, man? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Uh, I mean, any sort of growth makes me happy. In all honesty,
Oh,
I,
for sure.
I mean, obviously for me and many others, this shit's like a dream job. um, I don't know if it'll ever happen, but if I don't work towards it, I'm never gonna find out.
Yeah, and I'm pretty confident. Like I don't mean this in like a self-praising way, but I feel like if I quit my job, told my fiance, "Hey, I'm just going to do this for a year," and just literally every day woke up and worked on YouTube, I think based on what I know I'm capable of and based on the fact that I've seen success and I know how to make a video that gets views, um I feel like I could make it. However, I think that would be incredibly irresponsible. So
Yeah,
I'm not going to do it.
yeah. I guess it's a case of not putting all of your eggs in one basket, as
It's
they say.
exactly a case. It's exactly a case of not putting your eggs in one basket there.
Yeah,
So I'm just kind of doing this behind the scenes in my part time as a hobby. And
right.
if someday I blow up and get lucky, then great. I may transition into it full time, or maybe it'll get me noticed and I'll get on some community team at some point, or actually go into game development, which would be a dream come true. Either way, it's a great outlet for opportunity, certainly.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would I mean, I'm a high school student currently. If this were ever to take off for me, I would probably finish high school and then pursue it full time because I don't want to just not complete high school. And
Right. No, you should. I don't have anything higher than a high school degree, but
hmm.
you can. There's a lot of avenues out there. I don't want to be one of those guys that's like, hey, screw college, don't go to college. But I have a job that you're supposed to have a degree for, or not supposed to, but something that they're like, we want you to have a degree, and
Right.
I don't have one, and I got it anyway. Um, Usually there is a most people out there. It's what can you show me instead of what's your degree. They want
Yeah.
to see what you can do more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, like, my mom, for an example, she has the mentality of you need a college degree to be successful.
Every mom has that mentality.
Yeah, but my dad, it doesn't, and neither do I, in all honesty. I don't think you need a college degree to be successful. It helps, I'm not going to
Yeah,
deny
for sure.
that, but it's not the key to success. Like, it's not like, okay, got myself a college degree, now I'm going to be a multimillionaire.
Right.
Just so, every college graduate would be, you know, perfectly financially stable when that's just not the case.
Right. Right.
Many people just come
And
out
I
of
mean,
college and they're in
I
a
have a
shit state.
full-time job, and I'm barely hoofing it as it is.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it's all good. Everything's going good. Um, I'm comfortable, I guess you could say.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think that's what most people care about, being financially like stable and comfortable.
For sure.
I guess they're complacent. That would be the right word. But you know,
I,
there's some people that always want to keep making more and more money, and that's fine too.
right. I think content might be a better
Better
word
word.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Complacent is like there's an opportunity to go get more and you are not taking advantage of it. You're complacent with what you have. And I don't necessarily think that's good. Like I'm always trying to strive and be better. But
Yeah,
contentment while you don't have everything yet, that's really important.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree that that's a bit more of a better word, I guess, than
For sure.
complacement. Yeah, yeah. And Favyn, why'd you choose that name, Favyn? The story behind
I
Favyn.
do kind of want to keep that a mystery.
Oh, okay.
Um, but let me see. The reason I chose it, the origin, I'll keep a mystery just because I think it's funny to kind of hold that over people's heads. But the reason I chose it is because I wanted something that was unique, was distinct. If you type that in, I'm the only thing you're ever gonna see or find,
Yeah.
and that is kind of why I chose it. Like it was different. It's kind of makes no sense. It's a made up name, and hopefully it's short, easy to remember. A little bit of controversy around it. Like, what is it? Is it Favyn? Is it Favyn? Is it Favyn? Like, who knows? Um, so that's kind of why I went with that.
Yeah, I don't think it has like any correlation to your real name, I would assume.
It does not.
Okay. Yeah. At first I was thinking maybe it's like his last name or something.
No, it is not.
Like Ray Civic, you know?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. And I noticed that your channel has the default YouTube layout, and you haven't like bothered to change it. Any
Have I
reason
not
behind that?
bothered to change it?
No.
Laziness. Laziness is the answer to that question. Um,
See. All right then,
yeah,
Wolverine Cecil. Thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate it.
yeah. Have a good one.
You good luck on that schoolwork. See you in the next interview, man. Take care. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. And do you plan on updating that, Favyn?
Yeah, someday. Eventually, I'll get around to it.
Not that hard, Favyn. You just click a button on your channel and then switch it, and then that's it. Bada
If
bing,
it
bada
gets me,
boo.
if it gets me more views, I'll do it.
It does not get you more views, but it looks nicer.
Well, maybe.
Yeah. And your banner, it says changing gaming. Just curious, why does it say that?
I guess because that's what I was trying to do when I started it. Still trying to do, just change the perception of gaming. Change, like I said, lots of bullshit was going on when I first started, and I wanted to kind of change that and fix that. So, yeah, that's why it's that's why it says changing gaming.
I see. And I'm curious, Favyn, how did you meet, Actman and Racevic and Hidden
Um,
Xperia and all those guys?
I met Actman and Ray by reaching out to them because I saw literally the first couple videos they made, and I was actually a little bit bigger than both of them at the time. Um, so I was like, "Hey, man, just for both of them, I'm like, hey, I really liked your stuff." And I was like, "Cool." And so we just kind of started talking from that. Um, and yeah, like it was just reaching out to people, and that's how I met them.
And how about
Same with Hidden Xperia. Just kind of we talk on Twitter. We talk on Discord and whatnot. Just kind of naturally, just hey, how's it going? We all made Halo content, or we have in the past, and we kind of met each other through that and chatted through that, and that's how it went.
Yeah, I mean that's funny that they were all smaller than you back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long ago was that?
That was probably 2.5 years ago. I'd say is when I kind of started talking to all those guys.
Oh, okay. Do you remember like how many subscribers you had versus how many they had at the time?
Man, with Act Man, I had about 3,000, I want to say. Um, and he had about 1,000.
Oh, okay.
And with Ray, I think I had about 8,000, and he had just finished his years later series on Halo. I'm not 100% sure, but it was in those ballpark ranges.
I only found Ray Civic like a while back, so I wouldn't know how many subs he
Yeah,
had
and I'd
at that
actually
point.
seen his stuff before his Racevic channel. Like I had seen him on COG Connected. I had watched a couple of his videos. In fact, I saw those videos, and then I saw the videos on Racevic, and I'm like, this dude's straight up ripping off that guy from COG Connected. Like I could I couldn't believe. I was like, are you serious, dude? But yeah,
And you found
that's
out, oh, it's the same guy. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Whoops.
yeah.
And so you're on the All Skulls On podcast, and I was wondering how'd you get on there. I think Ackman told me yesterday he just invited you on or something.
I was involved with the creation process of that show. I was the one who came up with the name.
Oh,
yeah.
oh, well, we should
Yeah.
look at that.
Yeah, I mean, excuse me, shit. I came up with the name for that podcast. I don't know if he'll admit that, but I was basically like one of the initial brains. I guess it wasn't like it's not like it was started by one person and the four of us joined in. Really, it was like all four of us were sitting there chatting about games one day, and we thought, wouldn't it be cool if we did a podcast? And so really, it was kind of like a group thing between all of us. Initially, Hidden Xperia came on a little bit after that, but yeah, we just kind of made that together and discussed, what would we do with it. We could have guests. Who would we have? What would we talk about? How would it be structured? What are we going to call it? So that all those discussions were happening, like with me, Ray, Actman, Late Night Gaming. So yeah, we're gonna do more. We'll do more of that someday, but everybody's pretty busy. It's hard to get four people to just like, yep, I have this free hour. Do you? Oh, we all four have this exact same time where we can get together and do a podcast. Cool. Um, especially me, since I work full time. It's really hard to find a minute to, like, I mean, it took us what, 2 weeks to find this day right here that we could do this in.
I don't remember how long it took us. Let me see when I messaged you.
It
Oh,
it took a little bit.
yeah, you messaged me back on May 29th. It's June 16th right now. So, yeah.
So it's been over 2 weeks, but we made it. But you can imagine it'd be hard to do that with, four other people and a special guest.
Oh,
But
yeah.
we'll do it when we all have a minute. I don't even think we have the topic for the next one picked out yet.
Gackman said something about E3.
Oh, that would be a good topic. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. And Favyn, I saw that you used to do monthly Q&As, and I think you only did one.
I did two.
Oh,
Come on,
two.
man.
My bad. I'm sorry. Whoopsie. I'm getting the Favyn lore all wrong. Whoops. Yeah.
You-
Okay. Well, you did two, and then it stopped. How come?
I did those because I wanted easy content that I could always stay up to date and kind of notify people of. And the reason I stopped was I got really busy, and the free time I did have, I wanted to make like actual content with substance. And so I did kind of let those fall by the wayside. Um, and I just don't think with the time I have now that I can afford to do that monthly. I can barely make a video a month, let alone a video and then fit in. Because even if it doesn't take a lot of work in terms of thought processing. It takes a lot of time.
Right.
So I probably am not going to do that for the foreseeable future.
Gotcha. Okay. And you don't think you'll like maybe ever go back to doing them, or not really?
Maybe someday, if this becomes like my full-time gig, I
Right.
will do more Q&As and update videos and whatnot. But as of this moment, my focus is on creating content of substance, and hopefully those will do more for my channel than the Q&A update videos. And also another thing is they came out with that like community posting feature.
Yeah.
And so that has been a great way for me to kind of update people and keep people posted with what's going on.
Right.
And so for me, that feature basically made half of that video, aside from the Q&A part, completely obsolete. Like if I had a message for patrons, I could just post it there. If I had an update on a video, I could just post it there. Something new in my life, I could just post it there. And for the Q&As, while I haven't been doing what's it called? I haven't been doing it via a video. I have been doing like live stream Q&As where I do ask me anythings, and those are great. And I'll play a game that isn't active at all, and I'll just read comments and answer questions for like 2 hours. So I've kind of supplemented what those videos did through other avenues that YouTube allows.
Right. Yeah. And Favyn, what are your top 5 games of 2018 so far?
Damn, 2018?
Yes.
Have I played 5 games this year? Do they have to be games that came out this year?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's what I was trying to go
man,
for here.
that's gonna be impossible. What have I even?
Well,
I can't do it in order. I'm not gonna put it in order because I'm just struggling to find 5 games. Period. But I'll go with God of War,
okay.
which I just played. Shit. Looking around my room, looking for games. Oh no, there's nothing here. Wow, why does it feel like God of War is the only game I've played this year that I actually enjoyed? Like, I've played Sea of Thieves. I didn't think it was great, but I played it. Hey, Youssef, how's it going? I'm trying to start listing games that came out this year.
God.
I'm stumped. I'm
Yeah.
stumped.
Hey, Yusuf, how are you, man? God.
Last year I'd have tons, but this year, not so many.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be like games that have, come out. It could be games that you're looking forward to as well.
Oh, okay, I got you. Games that I'm looking forward to this year.
Arcanum Order said Monster Hunter World State of Decay 2.
Oh, there we go. Have
He's
Monster
listing some
Hunter
games
World,
off.
but I wasn't like super stoked on it, I guess. I don't know. It just wasn't for me. I understand why other people like it, but it wasn't for me personally. I'm looking for this year. I'm looking forward to Super Smash Bros. I know it doesn't come out this year, but Resident Evil 2, the remake, I'm really excited for that.
Doom and Jurassic
Doom.
World Evolution are 2 other games.
Yeah, definitely not Jurassic World Evolution. Doom came out a couple years ago. Doom 2 probably won't come out this year.
Yeah, Doom Eternal.
Fallout 76, I wasn't excited for that, but now I kind of am. It looked pretty cool. Is that 5?
I think you said a little bit over 5, actually.
Oh, sweet. We're good to go.
Yeah, there you go. It wasn't that bad. Wasn't that hard. I didn't make.
Well, once you said I could name games that hadn't come out yet, then I'm like, all right, well, I can do this.
Yeah, it's especially if E3.
Right.
It just fucking happens.
I just saw a bunch of games.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'd give you a whooping if you wouldn't remember any. Yeah, but
as I sit here like with this open design doc for a video on E3.
Yeah, there you go. You could reference that document. But yeah, Favyn, besides that, I've only got one last question for you here, and then that'll be it for the interview.
All right, sounds good.
So with your channel this year, what new and different things do you plan on doing, Benny?
With my channel this year,
Yep.
different things. I do have a series that I alluded to earlier. In regards to projects that I'm working on, I have a video on Halo's map design that I'm really excited about, and then I have a video on Destiny that I'm very excited about. If I can convey the message I want to convey, I think that could be a really big video. So I think both of those have a lot of potential in regards to what they can do for my channel if I do them right, and that's why they're taking so long. In regards to new things, I actually wanted to start my first series. I can go ahead and say the name. I want to call it Anatomy of a Game, where I kind of go through different mechanics and different designs that have been in games and analyze them and kind of bring them to the forefront, and just explain how they work and what they do for the games that they are in. And so that's kind of my plan for this year, and hopefully it breeds some success and I can kind of get the train rolling a little bit.
Alrighty then, Favyn. Sounds good to me. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, man. No problem. And well, that's it for the interview, everyone. If you have enjoyed the interview, you can go ahead and drop me a like, drop me a sub. Anything you could do to help would be appreciated. Otherwise, I appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Otherwise, I'll see you next one. Take care, and goodbye.